Hello everyone. So today we have a very special guest. This is our fifth episode or maybe sixth episode of IT Wale Bhaiya. But today we don't have. Today the guest is very special. He did his masters from ISI Kolkata. He did his PhD. He's doing his PhD from TIFR Bombay, and he did his BSc from Ramakrishna Mission, Narendrapur. He got All India rank 7 in IIT Jam. He already cleared NET exam, NBHM exams, and many more. So today we will talk with Arkamouli. So Arkamouli, just can you like I already gave much of information. So can you give your introduction? Yeah,
Well, one thing which you did not mention is that I am a mathematician. Maybe that is the first thing that you should
yeah,
say.
yeah.
So I'm a student of mathematics,
Hmm.
and yeah, I'm currently doing my PhD from TIFR Mumbai. I joined in 2020. That was the during Corona time. So the first semester was entirely online. Even the second semester parts of it was online. Um, yeah, I guess yeah, I am at this moment in my third year. And yeah, like you said, I am not a IIT bhaiya. That is true, but I had the option to join IIT back in
Yeah.
2018.
Hmm.
Also in 2020. Back in 2018, when I cleared JAM, I had the option to join IIT Mumbai, but I chose to join ISI Kolkata because, well, I am from Kolkata, so that
Okay.
is one
Okay.
part of the reason. But
Yeah.
that is not the only reason. There was academic reason also. I felt like ISI is a better place to do masters than
Yeah.
IIT Mumbai at that moment. So yeah,
So first question is how you started your journey in mathematics.
that is a very good question. I think I had decided that I'm going to pursue mathematics around class 10 maybe. And when I
Okay.
first told my parents, they were extremely supportive. So in that sense, I'm very lucky. Not all
Okay.
people have this privilege.
Okay.
So then after class 12, I sat for ISI and CMI entrance exams. I could not clear them, which was a very hard blow because I felt like I had prepared for the exam, but
Okay.
maybe my preparation at that time was not good enough. So I joined Ramakrishna Mission Narendrapur at Kolkata. I did my BSc there. In my
Okay.
after my second year in 2017, uh,
Hmm.
a life-changing event happened for me. I got
Can
selected
you
for
yeah,
what
yeah.
is called VSRP,
Can you repeat again?
visiting summer.
Your network issue is still there. Some network issue was there. So can you repeat again? Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Not exactly. Yeah, yeah. Now it's full. Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear. Yes.
Yeah.
You can continue.
Yeah, so basically, so when I was in after my second year in 2017, some life-changing event happened for me. I got selected for the visiting summer research program, which is called VSRP at TIFR Mumbai. So they
Okay.
conduct this program every year during June and July. So what
Okay.
they do is they select people from bachelor's and master's background from all over India, and they assign some professor under which that person works for like 1 month, 45 days,
Okay.
or 1.5 months, something around
Hmm.
that time. And uh, so when I came here in 2017, I saw that the world of mathematics is so much bigger than what which was available during my BSc times, and I realized
Okay.
that there is so much more to do. Just BSc, just clearing some semester exams is not enough. There's so much more to learn. When
Yeah.
I went back home, I sort of decided that this is the place where I want to come. So I sat for my entrance exam in 2017. I'm talking about TIFR entrance exam,
Okay.
and I cleared the first round. I was selected for the second round. I could not clear the second round at that time, but at that time I sat for JAM also, which I guess this channel is about. I
Okay.
cleared that
Yes.
exam in
Hmm.
2018 with a rank of 7, and I also cleared several other exams like ISI, CMI, IISC. So JAM not only selects for IIT, they also select for IISC through
Yeah.
interview. So I cleared that also. Uh, After thinking about a lot of things, weighing all my options, I think ISI Kolkata was the best suit for me at that time. So that is why I joined ISI Kolkata. I did my masters there. So in 2020, I sat for the entrance exam for TIFR one more time. So back in 2017-18, that was for integrated PhD. So TIFR has two programs. One is integrated PhD, one is PhD. So after
Okay.
BSc, you can join for integrated PhD. After MSc, you can join for PhD.
Okay.
So finally, I did clear it. And well, here I am. And
Okay.
at this moment, I'm in my third.
Can you explain if someone wants to do his if someone wants to do the VISPR like
VSRP, yeah.
yeah
So
VSR.
the thing is that around, I guess, February, if one visits the TIFR website, which is also for not just mathematics, for other subjects also, physics, chemistry, biology, they conduct this program called Visiting Summer Research Program, VSRP in short. Around February, March, if someone visits the website every now and then, they will see
What's the
advertisement.
website name? I will also put in the description box.
I think just searching on Google VSRP TIFR should be enough because it's quite a popular
VSR.
thing.
Okay.
The short form is VSRP.
VSR. Yes.
So the thing is that you have to apply by writing an essay in like 300 words as to who you are, what is your background, what are your interests, why do
Okay.
you want to join, why should
Okay.
they select you among all the other people who are
Hmm.
applying and all that. And you also require two recommendation letters from your professors who is going to write that I am recommending this person so and so.
Okay.
So yeah, and so what I will say is that if someone does not get selected for VSRP, one should not be depressed because, as you can understand, a lot of people are applying, and
Yeah.
it's sometimes it comes to luck. Not it does. It is not an indicator of how much whether you're good or bad. It's not an
Yeah.
indicator of whether you're worth it or not. But if you do get selected, that is really a life changing event because the level of research work done at TIFR is not comparable with any other place in the country. So
Okay.
it's really a great opportunity if you can come here and interact with other great mathematicians and fellow students. And
Can you share some experiences that what you learned there?
so the first thing I learned, which is not just about mathematics but life in general, is that one should not limit themselves to whatever they're doing at the moment, and they should try to you know push their horizon. They should feel that there is a lot more to learn than whatever you're learning at this moment. So
Okay.
during my BSc, the amount of mathematics that was in the BSc curriculum is like very little compared to how much there is to learn. So I
Yeah.
learned a lot of things which are not within the scope of BSc mathematics, like algebraic topology, algebraic
Okay.
geometry, these
Okay.
things. So so I'm not saying that I learned all of this. What I'm saying is that I got to know that there are these things which I will have to learn at some point of
Yeah.
time in the future. So I think that is very important to know what is in the future. Maybe BSc in India, mathematics, the way I feel is that unless you are doing your bachelor's from some place like maybe IISc or ISER or whatever, or ISICMI, unless you're doing your bachelor's from those colleges, maybe you do not get much exposure to what the world of mathematics really is. So these programs, there is another program at HRI Allahabad, Harishchandra
Okay.
Research
Yeah.
Institute, called SPIM.
Hmm.
That is also a similar program. They also do it around summertime. So I think it's very fruitful if one can attend these things.
I was selected for that from
Oh,
IIT Madras,
I see, I
but
see, I see. Nice.
yeah, but I didn't check my email at that time because that was the Corona period and I
Oh,
didn't check. But I
I
was
see.
selected.
Ah, nice.
SPIM. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that would be all about VSRP. Really, I mean, I came back with this hope and expectation that I can also come to places like this.
Okay. Arkamouli, or did you attended any MTTS program level 0 or 1?
No, I did not attend any MTTS program. What I did attend is something called Madhava Math Camp, which is
Okay. What is this?
organized by St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, and some other college which I'm forgetting the name. So St. Xavier's College, Kolkata used to organize it. I don't know whether they still organize it or not. So it's like a
Okay.
math camp.
Okay.
They bring people from different parts of India. I mean, by
Okay.
people I mean professors, and they give some lecture series. It's almost like MTTS, but not MTTS.
Okay. As we have time limitations, can we extend it? Because you have lots of knowledge in mathematics that you can
Yes,
share.
sure.
Okay. Yeah. So how you cleared your ISI exam?
See, my advice, and this is an advice that I give to everyone who asks me this question as well as to myself. This is my personal advice to my own self. For
Okay.
any entrance exam,
Yeah.
one has to realize that clearing an entrance exam and knowing mathematics are two very different things. You can
Okay.
know a lot of mathematics but still are unable to clear an entrance exam,
Okay.
and vice versa is also true. But the point about entrance exam is that my best suggestion is whatever entrance exam you are aiming to clear, you should collect the question papers of that entrance exam for the last as many years is available on the internet, and you should solve them. Before
Yeah.
doing anything else, you should solve the question papers of that particular exam. No amount of reading books, no amount of watching, online lectures or attending class will be enough to clear an entrance exam unless you are familiar with what kind of questions they ask. ISI
Yeah.
asks certain kind of questions. JAM asks certain kind of questions. CMI asks certain kind of questions. TIFR asks certain. So it's very important to read through and solve all the questions from previous year question papers. Now the point is, someone might ask, well, I tried to do that, but I could not. There are too many hard questions. Now, my second advice is the following: when you are solving question papers, two things can happen. You get stuck in a question. You should ask yourself, why are you getting stuck? Is it because you do not know what this question is asking? You are not familiar with the topic? Or is it because the question is hard?
Okay.
See, if the question is hard, that's a completely different question. That's a completely different matter altogether. But suppose they're asking from a question. I'll give you an example. ISI asks questions from, let's say, not ISI, let's say TIFR, for example. TIFR asks questions from topology, basic topology, general
Okay.
topology. General topology is not a subject that is taught in usual bachelor's courses.
Yeah.
If you're not going to ISI, CMI colleges like that, general topology will not be taught in your BSc syllabus.
Hmm.
So when you're solving the question papers at home for TIFR, you should ask, why am I not able to solve this? Is it because I do not know this topic, or is it because the question is hard? If the question is hard, then you have to read more advanced stuff from that topic. That is a different issue. But what one should do is familiarize that what are the topics from which the questions are asked, and learn all the topics. That is the first thing people should do. For example, JAM specifically asks questions from differential equations, which will never be asked at TIFR or ISI or CMI, places like that. Those are some specific questions that JAM will ask: multivariable calculus, vector calculus, this grad, curl,
Yeah.
divergence, and all these things, Stokes theorem, and all these things. ISI will never ask such questions. ISI sometimes asks questions from probability distribution. In my year, when I gave the instance exam, 2018, they asked a question from probability distribution and expectation of something.
Okay.
So if you are not familiar with these things, you will not be able to solve it. It's not a question about whether the question is hard or not. If you do not know a topic, you will not be able to solve it. So it's important to
Correct.
learn all the topics. The only way to do it is solve all question papers as many as you can. That is my advice.
Okay. 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 And now, did you remember any interview questions of your ISI?
Yeah, so I remember they asked questions from group theory and real analysis. So what happens during interview is that almost in all the interviews that I gave, they ask you what is your area of interest.
Yeah.
So you might say algebra, analysis, topology, whatever you say. They will not necessarily ask you questions from just that. I mean, if you say your area of interest is algebra, they will still ask you questions from analysis, but
Okay.
they will start with algebra and they will mostly focus on algebra. They will
Okay.
not judge you on the basis of, you know, other things. So
Okay.
I remember they asked questions from group theory. I said my area of interest is algebra and linear algebra and group theory, and I mean algebra in general. So they asked me questions from direct products of groups and linear algebra, which is a extremely like a common theme in all the entrance exams. Linear algebra questions will always be there. No matter what exam you're giving, there will be a huge
Okay.
chunk of linear algebra questions. So I think my advice is one should be very well equipped with linear algebra.
Okay. Any questions if you remember? Le-
So I think they asked me questions characterizing subgroups of Z4 cross Z4, something like that. How many subgroups are there, and
Okay.
what is the order of a certain element, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And from analysis, I was asked questions like power series related questions, absolute convergence, and all that. So I think it's a good idea to know the series expansion of very common functions like sine, cos, and all these things.
Okay.
It should be on your tongue. You should
Okay.
be familiar with them.
So ये पूरे जितने भी अभी तक हमने बातें की हैं लाइक ऑर्कोमोली से, अगर मैं इसको थोड़ा सा सम अप आपके लिए कर दूं, then PYQ's past year question is very very important for you to clear any of exams. And second thing that you have to do is like जैसे इन्होंने बताया कि आप पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चन सारे लगा लोगे, लेकिन आपको मैथमेटिक्स का नॉलेज ना, मतलब कि लाइक आपने अगर पास्ट ईयर के क्वेश्चंस बना भी लिए हैं देन यू कांट से कि आपको मैथमेटिक्स का नॉलेज है। फॉर दैट यू हैव टू रीड बुक्स,
Yeah.
इट्स अ डिफरेंट गेम। लेकिन लाइक अगर आपको एग्जाम्स क्लियर करने हैं देन पीवाईक्यू इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू हैव टू डू। एंड लाइक क्वेश्चंस जो आपने सजेस्ट किए हैं वो आप टॉपिक्स तो देख ही सकते हो। लाइक मेरा और अब क्वेश्चन है, हाउ यू क्लियर्ड योर टीआईएफआर एग्जाम्स? नो।
So this is slightly different because, as you know, TIFR entrance exam is harder than ISI and JAM.
ओके।
But I will say from personal experience, I think among all the entrance exams that I gave, I think CMI has the hardest question paper because they
ओके।
have too many advanced topics like complex analysis, very deep topology. Just knowing basics of topology is not enough to answer those questions.
ओके।
You have to know quite a lot of topology. You have to know quite
Means
a lot of
if you're saying that basic topology, then basic and advanced topology, then can I say that Monka's book is enough for
Yes,
no
Monkress book. If one follows the
exercise
book of
questions?
Monkress, I think that is good enough. If
Okay.
someone follows the book of Monkress, that is good enough.
Okay.
What I meant to say is that just knowing at the level of metric space is not enough. You have to know full
Okay.
general topology.
Yeah.
That is what I meant to say.
Okay.
So that is about CMA. But you asked me about TIFR. Again, the same advice is there that solve all the previous question papers. TIFR has their own website where they publish the question papers. At least I guess the past 10 years or maybe more than 12 years it's
Yeah.
there. So one can always go through that. MCQ questions of okay. The point is that TIFR has MCQ exam first round and subjective exam or interview depending on your case. Usually
Yeah.
for the last few years, no. In 2020 they had entrance exam second round, that is subjective questions. In
Yeah.
2021 I think they had interview, and
Okay.
maybe also in 2022. I'm not sure what will happen this year. They usually keep sometimes interview, sometimes entrance exam. It's hard to tell what will happen.
Okay.
So since I never faced a TIFR interview personally, I cannot say. My case was subjective question.
Okay.
But for subjective question, this advice is also true for ISI second round exam. So ISI also same thing. First round MCQ, second round subjective. For subjective question, no one is going to expect that you are able to answer every question full correctly and all that. They will judge you on the basis of your thinking also. Like there is partial marking. For example, there is a question.
Okay.
Suppose someone has asked to prove certain function is continuous or differentiable and then find some limit. Suppose you have been able to prove up to the differentiability and you are not able to find the limit. They're going to consider that. They're going to see what your thinking process has been. So it's very important to write whatever your thinking process. I mean, don't write very vague things. Write very concrete things. But what I'm trying to say is that even if you're not able to solve the entire problem, whatever the
Okay.
entire problem is asking, but you take some correct steps, that will be marked. That will be marked positively. They will see that. So
Okay.
that advice is also true for interview. That advice is especially true for interview. In interview, usually no one expects that they will ask you a random question and you will be able to answer right at the moment. They will definitely give you hints, but you have to think out loud. I mean, what I'm saying is, whatever you're thinking in your head, just say it out loud. That okay, I'm thinking this will be continuous. I'm thinking maybe I can use so and so theorem.
Okay.
So say out loud whatever you're thinking, so that the professors understand that this guy is being able to is in the right track or not. So that is very important.
Okay. So if I will summarize it, means whatever comes in your mind after seeing the questions, you have to like explain it to like
Yeah,
your professor if you are giving an interview, and if you are giving your subjective exams, then you have to write that on
yeah,
the answer sheet.
yeah.
Yeah, again, next question is your best mathematical experiences that you experienced now.
So it's hard to say. So when I was in my BSc, I had a professor named Partho Sharathi Mukhopadhyay, who is
Okay.
popularly in the Kolkata math circle, he is popularly known as PSM.
Okay.
He also has a book on abstract algebra, which many people read. I also read. He was a very motivational and inspirational character in my life. He constantly motivated me to, learn more than what was within the syllabus of BSc.
Okay.
So I owe a lot to him. He is very much responsible for where I am today. If I talk about experiences in TIFR, I will say my professor Indranil Biswas. He is a world reputed mathematician, great mathematician. My interactions with him were almost all of them were very much fruitful. He contributed a lot to my mathematical journey. And the one common thing that I've seen in all these great people is that they're very down to earth people. When
Okay.
you ask them questions, they come to your level and they explain, which is very
Okay.
important. It's a very important thing to be able to explain your ideas to other people, communicate your ideas to other people. If you learn from your professors, then you also continue this heritage. You also become a great professor when you are a professor, and that
Right.
continues. I think it's very important to, and in this context also, what I will say is that it is very important to discuss mathematics with your friends, because I have learned more mathematics discussing with my friends than I have learned from books or professors. This goes without saying. It's very important to have mathematical discussions, because you might think you know something, but when your friend asks and you're explaining, and he or she suddenly asks you a question that you never thought about, then you will be like, okay, maybe I don't fully understand this. Maybe there are many aspects which I don't understand. Only through interaction and communication do you understand mathematics. So many of my great mathematical experiences are my late night discussions with my friends, which go on till 3 a.m., 4 a.m.,
Okay.
sleepless nights,
Okay.
like that.
So, do you have any reference for like general audience that if they don't have any friend like that, and
Uh-huh.
if they want to discuss with them, then
Um, so I don't use Facebook anymore. At one point of time, I mean, when I did use Facebook, I used there was this group called Math Circle,
okay,
Math World. I'm sorry.
math one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that group is active anymore or not. I met a lot of people there. And another good idea is if you don't have people to interact with, I think it's always a good idea to watch online lectures,
Okay.
because a lot of things you are not able to get from your own college maybe, but there are so many great lectures on YouTube.
Okay. Can you refer
Lecture
some?
uh, MIT Open Courseware, I think everyone has heard about it.
Yeah.
MIT Open Courseware is an excellent source for undergraduate and graduate level mathematics. I learned a whole lot of real analysis from there. There are NPTEL series, Indian series by professors from IIT and IISc, some people from IISc. Those are all of them are available on YouTube. I mean, I mean, in this day and age, our previous generations did not have this privilege to use the
Yeah.
internet the way we
Exactly.
use now. So I think it's one should use it for their benefit. Yeah.
So, do you want to some specify some MIT open course and NPTEL courses? Some
So
specific course?
I think there is so I will say there is linear algebra course by Gilbert Strang,
Yeah.
which
That
I
course
think
is
a lot
very
of people have
famous.
heard. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That is a very popular one. That is quite good.
Hmm.
There are linear algebra courses from NPTEL also, which are also equally good. So basically, the point is that whatever common topic, if you go into very deep specialized topic, maybe you won't be able to find resources on YouTube. But at least BSc level mathematics like linear algebra, real analysis, complex analysis, group theory, ring theory, field theory, Galois theory, all of this you just type on YouTube lecture,
You will
or
get, yeah.
YouTube itself will
NPTEL.
provide you fantastic resources.
Yeah. So your best professors.
Uh, Let me go sequentially.
Okay.
From BSc, I think all the professors that I had were excellent. Like I mentioned, PSM, Partho Sharathi Mukhopadhyay. I also
Okay.
have to mention my professor, Partho Protim Basu, who also had a huge contribution in my life. Sadly, he passed away in 2018.
Okay.
Uh, these two professors were extremely important in my life. There was another professor, Deepak Roy. In short, we called him DR. In ISI, I had great professors like Meena Gupta, who is one of the greatest commutative algebraists
Yeah.
in the country at this moment. I had great professors like Moha Dotto. She taught me symplectic geometry, which became my area of interest for a while. Uh, Kingshuk Bishash, he is a great professor. He taught us complex analysis and multivariable calculus.
Okay.
These people are like gems of you know Indian mathematical education. In TIFR, I had the privilege of interacting with some really great mathematicians. Like I mentioned, Indranil Vishwas, he is a world-renowned professor. Uh, Other professors like Professor Yogesh Holla, excellent guy. You can talk to him any time of the day you want. You just in the campus you reach out to him, say I
Okay.
just want to discuss these and these
And
things, and he
yeah.
will never be offended. Or he will spend long hours discussing these
Okay.
things, which I think is very important. So yeah.
Okay. What is the stipend in ISI and TFR that you
In
were?
ISI, MMath stipend was, when we entered, if I am not wrong, it was 5,000, but they increased it to 8,000. So that is
Okay.
MMath. In TIFR, not just in TIFR, in all over India, the uniform PhD stipend is first 2 years, it is 31,000. After
Okay.
that, it is 35,000 with contingency grant, which you can use to buy books or you can use to buy electronic goods related to education, like
Okay.
laptop or like headphones or like speakers or like all these other things. uh, that is that. What TIFR does not have, which IISc and IITs have, is the option to apply for what is called the Prime Minister Award,
Okay.
uh,
PMRF.
PMRF,
Yeah.
exactly, which is much more than the usual stipend. It is, if I'm not wrong, it's 70,000, something
Yeah.
around.
70, 75,000. Yes.
Yeah, something around that. So yeah, TIFR has the another good thing about TIFR is that they give you their own money, by which I mean you don't have to clear net to get this stipend. In many other universities, like central universities, especially like maybe HCU, DU, CU, or whatever, all these other places, you have to clear net exam to get stipend, and that stipend is not institutional stipend. So the advantage of institutional stipend is that for sure at the end of the month you're going to get it. But net, since it's a different body organizing it and not your institution, so sometimes there is delay, and yeah, that is there.
Okay. And now the question is how you will impact the society after, like, through your research.
I have faced this question before and I've thought a lot about it. The thing that I do, pure mathematics, I don't think it will be able to contribute to the society in a way, let's say, other subjects like biology, engineering, or physics can contribute. Those contributions are very, very tangible. You can see those contributions, like
Yeah.
making medicine or making bridge or making electronic goods. Mathematics does not contribute to the society in that way. Mathematics contributes from the background, does not come
Yeah.
to the foreground. All these science subjects, they require mathematics to progress. So that is that. And other way in which I want to contribute is, if I cannot contribute in a way that, let's say, doctors or other people can contribute, then the way I can contribute is to educate people who want to pursue higher mathematics. That is the way I can contribute. So that is why
Okay.
I want to, I want to, how to put it, I want there to be a reform in the bachelor syllabus, which I spoke to my professors at my BSc college. And I think the more people speak about it, there will be reform, because see, there are very limited amount of elite institutions in India: ISI, CMI, ISERS, and IISc maybe, and some of the IITs. But the population is huge. All these people want to learn mathematics, but there are seats are so few. So
Yeah.
what will you do? What is the compensation for that? All people cannot be admitted to all these elite institutes. So some compensation has to be done. That's why you have to uplift the syllabus at the level of bachelors, at the level of masters in the central universities and all that. So I think it is very important to you know bring a reform in this syllabus, curriculum, and all that. And the only way to do that is if people who have already crossed that stage, if they start speaking. So it's very important to do that. So this change is
Okay.
not going to come overnight, but it will come gradually.
Exactly. So, what is your research area? Your research area?
I am currently working on what is called algebraic geometry.
Algebraic
Okay.
geometry.
Yeah.
Okay. What is its applications like? Is it oh, sorry, like what I'm asking, what is the application of that, like in which category, on which area it is applicable?
it it use, like I said, pure mathematics contribution is within pure mathematics. It does not really contribute outside, but within pure mathematics, the areas that it uses are commutative algebra. You have to know a whole lot of commutative algebra,
Yeah.
which includes ring theory, which includes Galois theory. And once you have learned commutative algebra, which I think is the content of more or less every master's course,
Hmm.
then only then you can dive into algebraic geometry, which essentially is the study of zeros of polynomials. If I simplify the subject a lot,
Okay.
it eventually comes down to that. So linear algebra is the study of zeros of linear equations.
Hmm.
Linear algebra does not talk about higher degree polynomials, but
Yeah.
that subject is addressed by algebraic geometry. This is again a
Okay.
very simplified form. That is not all that there is,
Exactly,
but
exactly. मीन्स यू आर बेसिकली वी कैन से कि आप लाइक डिजिटलाइजेशन में हेल्प कर रहे हो, बिकॉज ये सारी चीजें जो भी आप कर रहे हो ये आने वाले टाइम में इस पे भी लाइक बहुत जो हमारे लाइक डिजिटलाइजेशन हो रहा है वो इस
yeah,
पे होगा, मतलब यू आर बेसिकली एम्पावरिंग इंडिया और वर्ल्ड, वी कैन से
yeah,
बेसिकली, नॉट
I
नाउ
hope so.
बट इन फ्यूचर.
Yeah, I hope so.
या सो अगेन चलो रैपिड फायर राउंड हम स्टार्ट करते हैं आपके साथ. तो आपसे कुछ मैं फटाफट क्वेश्चंस पूछूंगा, आप फटाफट आंसर्स करोगे. सो द क्वेश्चन इज, आपको तीन में से एक सेलेक्ट करना है. आई नो इट इज वेरी हार्ड,
Okay.
but you have to select one. Ramakrishna Mission and like ISI and TIFR. Just select one.
I think I will select TIFR.
Okay. आप वहीं पे हो अभी डिपार्टमेंट में भी.
Yeah,
चलो
I think
सही
it's a
है.
politically correct answer.
पॉलिटिकली करेक्ट, यस. सेफ है. और अगर मौका मिले इंडिया और अब्रॉड
To pursue
टू
research
परस्यू
or
हायर
graduate study.
स्टडीज. यस.
I think if I get opportunity, I will live India.
अब्रॉड.
Yeah,
इंडिया और अब्रॉड.
I will leave India. I mean, I will go
ओके.
abroad.
अब्रॉड. ओके. सिंगल एंड रिलेशनशिप, इट्स अ पर्सनल क्वेश्चन.
At this moment, I am
It
in a
may
relationship.
affect your like your personal life also.
Yeah, at this moment, I am in a relationship. I think,
Okay. You
uh,
are accepting it. It requires lots of courage
yeah, it does.
with
I
that you
think
have.
adult relationship, managing time, managing while you are a PhD student, you
Yeah,
know, while you don't have a stable income at this moment at least.
exactly.
Managing a relationship and future planning is quite hard. But
Okay. आप डरा रहे हो अपने
no, no,
juniors को.
not डरा रहा हूँ नहीं हूँ. But yeah, I mean, see,
They can handle. If you will handle, if you can handle, they can also.
yeah,
But
exactly,
you are
exactly. That is
warning
that.
them कि like hard होता है ये.
Yeah, hard, but hard तो बहुत कुछ ही होता है. You can still handle.
Exactly. तो आप लोग के लिए भी है ये चीज कि if you want to do अपने रिस्क पे you can do. Like now reading books or single video lectures. Which one you are referring?
I actually personally prefer watching YouTube lectures.
Okay.
I I think I have watched more lectures than I've read books, which is,
Okay.
yeah.
I was thought कि आप बुक्स ज्यादा पढ़ते होंगे, बट क्योंकि
No,
मेरा
no,
एक
no.
माइंडसेट है कि मैं वाली
My
बुक पढ़ता
my point is that when someone explains it, I think it has more clarity than when I'm reading a book.
हूँ. ओके ओके. वेरी गुड. और एनालिसिस और अलजेब्रा.
Algebra, definitely. Very far away from analysis.
ओके, मींस यू आर फ्यूचर अलजेब्रिस्ट, आई
Yeah,
कैन से. या
I hope so.
या प्योर मैथ्स और अप्लाइड मैथ्स.
Pure mathematics, definitely.
ओके. सो ये था हमारा ओवरऑल. आपसे आपने बहुत सारी नॉलेजेस शेयर की हैं. अब लास्ट इफ यू वांट टू शेयर समथिंग with your juniors or upcoming future mathematicians.
What I want to share is that don't lose hope if you are unable to clear any entrance exam or you do bad in any semester exam or your life is not working out at this moment. It's not the end of the world. You just should tell yourself that I love mathematics and I want to do mathematics. Entrance exam, semester exam, all of this is collateral. The point is you should not lose love for mathematics. If you have love for mathematics, life will find a way. But if you lose focus from mathematics, and if you become obsessed with clearing entrance exams, you know, I'll memorize so and so formula and I will clear the entrance exam, you won't be able to go very far. Maybe you will clear an entrance exam, then you'll start doing research and you will be like, oh my god, what will I do?
Okay,
So
okay.
you have to not lose your love for mathematics if you want to do mathematics, and that, it's not the end of the world. If mathematics does not work out for you, maybe something else will. It's not life and death really. But if you want to do mathematics, then you have to love mathematics. Just clearing entrance exam is not enough.
It's a very great suggestions that you can that you are giving, बिकॉज यही होता है कि बहुत बच्चे चाहते हैं मैथ्स को, लेकिन मैथ्स से ज्यादा वो चाहते हैं आईआईटी को, कि आईआईटी का
Exactly.
टैग मिले. बट दैट इज नॉट गुड, दैट इज नॉट सफिशिएंट, बिकॉज वो
Exactly.
फ्यूल आपको बहुत आगे तक लेके नहीं जाएगा. यू नीड
Exactly.
वो वाला फ्यूल, प्यार वाला फ्यूल. अगर आप मैथ से प्यार करते हो, इफ यू लव मैथमेटिक्स, देन आप कुछ ना कुछ बहुत अच्छा कर ही लोगे. सो थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you
आपने
for
इतना
having me.
कुछ शेयर किया. अब काफी कमेंट्स भर भर के आएंगे यूट्यूब के सेक्शंस में. अगर पॉसिबल हो तो आप आंसर सुन के कर देना,
I will
इफ इट
surely.
इज पॉसिबल. तो वीडियो को यहाँ पे